runs Design Effectiveness Awards, which really shows the business value of those. Then I had a thank you, but I'll come back to this. This was a company, they had created that thing as a screw bolt, which is a patented product. It's instead of expansion bolts, and it screws into a hole, and it has a double helix. The guy who invented it, when he discovered the drill was more difficult to get out than the actual bolt itself. And many years presenting his business in this way, competing with some quite big multinational companies, cutting a long story short, just to show you the difference, this was how we got it presented in terms of its website, how it looked, how people navigated through it. It really has quite a different feel in terms of professionalism as a business, so quite significantly different, really understands, and in fact was the same Julie Curtis. On the Design Management Europe website, you'll find some case studies, and this is a German company. They did a fermented drink, struggled a lot. Somebody said, why don't you get somebody to help you in terms of marketing? This really does bleach out, doesn't it? And this was a complete change of packaging, identity, and what it shows down there, they sold in 2000 more than 1 million bottles. In 2007 was 200 million bottles. They went to the 3rd largest soft drink supplier in Germany, and Coca-Cola was after them. And also on there is this wonderful Turkish clothing company, and they said, we want to stop competing in fashion because fashion constantly changes. And they created an entirely new market with the help of some designers. And what they did was, these things are all travel stuff. So it's called T-Box, and it started as T-shirts, and they would put them in these little boxes that the lady's holding, and in it had the equivalent of a penny, because it's always $1.99 or $2.99, isn't it? So for speed travelling, you grab your T-shirt, you give your money, and you get change already that's for the rounded amount. But all of these innovative packaging are all different: headbands, scarves, T-shirts, anything to do with travel. And they also were very, very innovative in the way they went out. They went out to tourist resorts with bicycles, like the ice cream sellers, and sold them off that. They sold them at airports, anywhere that travellers went. And the idea was that it was really fun, really different. So this industry didn't exist really before, and the market didn't exist, and they created an entirely new market. But you can read about those on Design Management Europe. So I just thought I'd give you a few more bits of inspiration and go back to saying thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been very patient. Our goal here today was to take you through the process. We realise that you are incredibly busy people, and we really appreciate you taking the time to attend today. We wanted to squeeze as much information as possible into the session for you, give you a very clear overview of the concept and how it's going to be enacted over the coming year through the pilot process. And I'd really like to thank you for your patience. I'd like to thank you for your attendance. I would really like to thank our presenters and speakers, particularly Caroline and Sally, who travelled from the UK to share their experience and expertise with us. And I'd like to ask you to give them a round of applause. Their flight was delayed, and they arrived here at 1 o'clock this morning, and they literally turned around after lunch and back again. So we really appreciate you taking the time. I think that their stories are really useful. In a lot of this stuff can be very abstract and can seem very theoretical. But I think when you hear Caroline's story and the reality of how it impacted on her business competitiveness and growth in a very crowded marketplace, it really does illustrate the potential. Also, the whole process and work that Sally does with companies in the UK, both on the creative side and on the industry side, and the stories, you can see it. It's so obvious from the shift from the tool manufacturer and the change in how you would perceive that company. The oil example was another really, really good example. Totally different perceptions, yet the exact same product and content. So it does make a big difference. And I would like to wind up today by thanking the project team from the Creative State, Aisling, our programme manager, Una, facilitator with the industry sector, Aoife, our chair, Deirdre Melvin, who's floating, she was tweeting from the event today, Devona, who took your registrations. On all our behalves, thank you very much for attending. And I'm going to finish with a call to action. Go to our website, apply, put in your challenge, and get innovating. We'll do it with you faster, smarter, and better. So get going. Thank you very much.